Yep, 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 yep.
Okay, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Finnish Football Show. Today we're joined by a very special guest, a Veikkausliiga winner who also has a Suomen Cup and Liiga Cup winners' medals to his collection, a combative attacking midfielder who has been a regular Huuhkajat squad member for the past few years, fresh from Euro 2020. Welcome to the Finnish Football Show, Joni Kauko.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys. Great to be here.
Yeah, terve, Joni. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us today. We really appreciate that. And yep, just showed you there. I'm representing.
I can see that. Very nice, very nice.
Only the best, mate. Only the best. So we will, of course, get round to talking about Euro 2020, where you wore this very shirt, and your thoughts about how Finland's first major tournament went in due course. But we want to start by taking you back a few years. You were born there in Turku in 1990, in the same year that FC Inter Turku were founded. And I think it's fair to say that after your 100 or so appearances for the Sinimustat, you're somewhat of a legend in your hometown. But I've read somewhere that you did have play some of your junior football in TPS. So first of all, how did your love of football start, and what can you tell us about those early years and the move over from the black and white to the blue and black?
Well, I think the football kind of started because of my parents. They were both playing also football. My dad played, I think he played in second division or something like that. My mom actually has also a few national team caps, women's team. So they also played. Also my uncles. So we have pretty much like kind of a football family. So I think it came from there. But
so choice then, no choice really.
Well, yeah, it's been basically since I was 4 years old. It's been only football. There was actually almost some ice hockey also, but I never really got interested of that so much. So football's always been the kind of the thing.
So after a couple of years in the Inter Turku youth team, you made your Veikkausliiga debut in 2008. How was it for you to break into your hometown team and be involved in those 8 or so games that you played as the team went on to win the Veikkausliiga that year? How was that?
It was unbelievable. It was crazy, especially because I was so young, and I think I was already training. Maybe 2 years or something. I was training with the A team, but I never played in the first team. And then on that year, 2008, I think I played my first games, and I think I got around, like you said, 8-9 caps in the Veikkausliiga, and then we were champions also that year. And then after that, everything started going on the right direction, and I also got my leg on the team kind of. I'm really happy for that. It's been basically Inter has given me everything what I am these days. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean to lift that Veikkausliiga trophy in your breakthrough season at your hometown club must be like some crazy, unbelievable feeling. So it's a pretty cool way to burst onto the scene there. But at the end of, as you say, you spent some good few years, and your relationship with Inter Turku is really great. But at the end of 2012, your contract at Inter had expired, and you went on to join FC Lahti. Your new club finished the 2013 season in respectable position of 5th place, but I think it's fair to say your game time was possibly a bit more limited at Lahti. Was that frustrating for you after being such an integral part of the Inter Turku side for the previous years?
No, not really. It was I would say the transfer was more like a kind of how would I say? I really never I never wanted to kind of leave from Inter in that way, because my contract was expired, and I was ready to go abroad at that time, and there was a lot of interest also from the clubs abroad. And then there was some kind of trouble with the transfer money and stuff, and then everything didn't go as we planned. And in the end, I turned up in Lahti, and yeah, then I spent there for like around 6 months or something, and then I made my transfer to FSV Frankfurt after that. So yeah, I mean it was a nice experience also in Lahti. I had a lot of good friends in there, and yeah, I enjoyed every moment also.
Yeah, I mean, you said there it was around 6 months that you were in Latvia, and as you mentioned, you decided to try yourself abroad, and you signed for Bundesliga 2 team FSV Frankfurt. So, first of all, you mentioned there that before the Lahti transfer, you were kind of thinking of leaving to abroad, but was it always really important for you to play outside of Finland? And secondly, how did you find settling in Germany?
Yeah, it was. I already felt when I was in Finland the last couple of years. I felt like I already had I won everything in Finland already that time, and I felt like I was one of the best players in Finland, and I felt also that I was already taking my step into the national team, and then the natural thing was that I just needed to get the next step in my career. And yeah, I was looking for that for a long time, but it didn't happen until I went to Lahti. But yeah, it was great experience, especially when I went to Frankfurt. Everything was so different what I was used to. So I mean, yeah, the city was bigger, everything was bigger, the football was different. It took some time to adapt into the football, but yeah, I'm really grateful for that time also. I think I got a lot of new experiences from that. I learned a little bit new things kind of in the football wise also, that competition, all these kind of things. And it was great. It was great. It was the first time I went abroad, and I couldn't be more grateful for that.
Was it always going to be Germany? So like even in the bit when you were thinking about leaving Turku and ended up in Lahti, was Germany kind of like the number one choice?
No, it wasn't always. There was some options also that time, other options also in Italy, but basically for me, the biggest dream has always been England. So, but I never really had a good chance to go there. A couple of times, but I didn't use that chance that time. So it's a bit frustrating because that was always kind of my biggest dream to play in England. So yeah, but yeah, football is what it is.
What was your dream club to move to in the UK?
I didn't really have any dream clubs, but yeah, I just love the English football, the culture, of course, especially here in Finland. When you grow up, there's basically, if you watch football from TV, there's only Premier League. So it's yeah, basically we learn to love English football, and that's why it was also one of mine. Of course, there has been some Finnish guys also doing some great things there. So
yeah, so you were still quite young, in fact, in your early 20s when you made that transition to move abroad. And us four guys here at the Finnish Football Show, we often debate about the pros and cons of young Finnish players moving abroad to other European clubs and leagues. So what is your opinion on that issue? You said there, Joni, that you felt that you were the best player in Finland, so you felt it was a natural step. But do you believe that young Finns benefit more from going abroad, or do you think they should stay at home and try to play regularly in the Veikkausliiga? Do you have any opinion on that?
yeah, I mean, it's really, of course, it's really individual how things are always going. But if I would have to say kind of overall opinion, I would say I would have left already when I was younger. I believe that of course, Finnish football it's going in a better direction all the time. We are doing things much better every year, so it's getting better. But I still believe that if you put 15 or 16-year-old player, you put into a Finnish academy or you put it to some English academy, then there's a huge difference. But then of course it brings you a lot of things when you go abroad as a young. You can always come back to Finland. I'm sure of that. But of course it's really hard to say what is right and wrong because it's so individual. For me, I don't know. If I would have left when I was young, maybe I wouldn't be here where I am now. So for me, it was perfect that I played few years in Veikkausliiga and got my place there, and got a little bit kind of, how do you say it? You got a lot of you got men's game kind of that you play against men. So it's that was really good thing for me. So for me that was perfect. So
I've got a couple of different perspectives on this. I'm a Wimbledon fan from as a kid, and in the last couple of years we've had Marcus Fors performing for half a year, doing really well, and then this year Jarkko Oksanen, both of them there on loan from Brentford. And I think you can see for maybe Marcus is showing a pathway for other players to follow through. You know, going out on loan, getting that experience of men's football, and then moving into the first team. And then I'm based in Seinäjoki, so I'm an Asiko fan, and there's some terrific young Finnish players coming into the team now. Ville Tikkanen is kind of wowing people this year, having been at the club, you know, a long time. He's now coming into the team. Is he 19 or 20? But not much gets past him, and he seems to be getting that experience of men's football now, and maybe he moves away. Hey, can you imagine even selling a player? That would be quite something. Selling a player overseas and bringing in a fee would be awesome. But it's just interesting, different routes nowadays.
I mean, was it Ilmari Niskanen went for money, right? When he moved to Germany last season, I can't remember what the fee was. It was undisclosed, but he's moved over there recently. So, what's the like for a young player? What's the like? Have you got any advice for guys like Ilmari, guys who have to go kind of into a new culture and embed themselves?
Well, we've seen Ilmari break into the national team, and then obviously he was doing so well in Finland, and now he's in Germany. So yeah, it's how do you see that one, Joni?
I think the biggest fight you can take is like inside your head. You have to be really, really, really strong in your head. Mentally, you have to be hard, not only for yourself but also for the others. It's like, especially when you go to the Germany, I saw it right away when I went there. It was like I was always kind of a how can you say, a little bit tough player. I tackle, I take tackles and everything, but maybe not anymore. But I used to be. But yeah, it's like, especially when I went to the Germany, it was like I could feel it. I could feel it from the first training. Like the guys, they came to my legs. They came to me. It's like they were trying to hurt me. Like, but as soon as you like you show them also that you can also do some things. You can also tackle. You can also push. You can also do this, and you can also play. It's like then they start accepting you also up there, because the competition is so hard. Like you are not used to it in Finland. In Finland, it's not like that. It's like there's always at least 4 or 5 guys who is competing of the same position you are playing. So it's like it's a really thin line how you should kind of act, because you should always be a team player. You should always be a nice guy, but still everybody's thinking of their self. So if I could give any advice, it would be that keep your head straight, like keep your mentality like strong all the time.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought. You know, like as football fans, we often think about, you know, keeping your body in shape and that sort of thing, and your skills and stuff. But yeah, I guess the mental side of it, especially when you move abroad, is absolutely massive. Coming from a place like Finland and pitching up in Germany, I guess the mental side is huge. But if we, after leaving Frankfurt, Joni, you had a further season in Germany with the Brandenburg side, Energy Cottbus, but before moving to Denmark with Randers. So how did the move from Germany to Randers come about? And was the style of play in Denmark different to that of Germany, more similar to in Finland, being another Nordic nation, or how did that compare?
Yeah. It was different, especially if you look at Germany's side, like second and Zweite and Dritte Liga. So it's like they are really like kind of it's all about the tempo. It's like you have a lot of good players, but it's more about the tempo. So when I went to Randers, it was more like Finland. It was a little bit more like Finland. The games where the league was a little bit more kind of a little bit tactical. It was actually, I was a little bit surprised how physical Danish league is, but it was more tactical than in Germany. So my idea of that transfer was that I needed to get a little bit back that the same feeling what I had in Finland when I felt like kind of unstoppable. So I needed that feeling back. So that's why I wanted to come back to Scandinavia and maybe in the better league, but still to get that feeling back. So, but yeah, things they didn't really go that well in Randers, even though I actually played quite a lot of games, but still it was quite a hard time for me.
Well, your next move brings us almost up to date, because in 2018 you signed for Esbjerg. For a while there was a little Finnish contingent there with our friend Markus Halsti and your Huuhkajat teammate Pyry Soiri joining you there in Jutland. I guess having some fellow Finns among your teammates made it easy for you to be there in Esbjerg. But despite this, the club were relegated in the end of 2020 season, sadly. But this must have been disappointing after your initial third place finish the previous season. Markus left to come back to Finland to continue his career in HJK. But did you personally feel it was important for you to stay there in Esbjerg and try and help the club achieve getting back to their Superliga status?
Well, I didn't really have a choice there. I had still a contract on me for 1 year. So
okay.
Basically, when after we got relegated, the club told me almost straight away that Joni, you're not leaving. You're staying here. We need you to bring us back to the Superliga. So actually I knew that almost right away. So I didn't really even really consider anything else at that moment. Of course, it was a little bit kind of frustrating and a little bit. I started thinking a little bit only because of the national team, because I knew that it's not gonna be a good thing for the national team. So that was the only thing what I was concerned about. But luckily I still stayed in the group, so everything went well.
Yeah, we mentioned there that we'd spoken to Markus Halsti. He was one of the first interviews we did when the Corona time came, and Markus is quite active in his phone. You know, he was posting videos of you and him training together in Esbjerg there when there was no official training from the club, and so we spoke to Markus, and he did a really cool interview for us. But he also, when I told Markus that we were speaking with you, Joni, he told me that a couple of things that we have to ask you. First of all, there's like these Marvel comic socks that you are wearing every day. I mean, like, was it Spider-Man or Incredible Hulk, or what's this all about? And he says like Marcus is always in Instagram, yeah, but he says that Joni Kauko is always in this Marvel game that he's playing in his phone. You can't put it down. So you need to tell us the story behind your love for the Marvel comics, I'm afraid, mate.
I actually, when he said he has few questions, I knew exactly what is coming. So he's always doing the same. But yeah, it's true. I like Marvel comics. I've been reading them since I was kid, and these days I really enjoy watching the movies, and it's probably my favorite scene in the movies industry. So yeah, then I got a couple of socks also from them. It's
So
yeah.
they bought you these socks because they know you like Marvel, and now he stitched you up by telling everyone about that they're your favorite socks. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah,
Is there anything you want to tell us about Marcus that we can keep in our back pocket?
I mean, there's a lot of things about him, but where to start?
Nothing that we can say. Nothing that we can say on the internet.
No, that's probably well.
Oh,
Keep it to yourself then for now. That's fine.
Keep it clean.
We'll get it off air.
Yeah. So getting back on track. We mentioned that Esbjerg were unfortunately relegated. You stayed for the following season, and ultimately the club just missed out on promotion just before the Euros kicked off. And then you released a pretty heartfelt video to the Esbjerg fans, explaining that the time had come for you to leave the club. And we will go on to talk about your next destination. But if we can just talk about Huuhkajat and your own personal international career for a little while. You were a regular through the youth levels for the national team, going so far as captaining the under-21 side, and you made your senior debut all the way back in 2012 in a I think it was a friendly against Trinidad and Tobago. First of all, Joni, how did it feel to pull on that white shirt of Finland for your first A men's national game?
It was a dream come true for sure. That was since I was a little kid. It's like I always knew that my biggest goal, my biggest dream was to actually play football as a profession. So I would actually be a professional at football. After I achieved that in Finland, my next goal was to play in national team, and that was something really special for me. It's you don't really know, or I don't really know how to put it in actual words, but it isn't such an honor to be one of those guys who actually is putting the jersey on and representing the whole country. So it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, as four English blokes, it's only something we can dream of, pulling on the white shirt of Finland. But yeah, it's
you've done it, Keke, already.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I've got mine on.
I've got four on.
But yeah, no, it's yeah. But it's it's you've summed it up perfectly there. Just a dream come true. It's absolutely amazing. But so after that initial first cap, further friendly appearances followed under Miksu and Hans Bakke, but it was Rive Kanerva who took over, and your international career really started to flourish with you featuring in more competitive games. A lot of the current squad have gone on record saying that the long relationship they've had with Rive through the youth groups and the under-21s and the step up into the senior international side has really helped them. Is that something that you found beneficial to your senior international career, your relationship with Rive through the youth football?
Yeah, for sure. I was already there when I think I was there with I think it was
Baxter.
It was with Paulus and these guys with their age group when they were 21s, and I was there as a youngster already, and Rive was the coach. So I think it already started. It started already from there, and yeah, I think it's a huge benefit, especially if you look at the team at the moment. There's so many guys who's been like together for a long time. It's like it's especially it's crazy that actually Ribe is also one of those guys who has been the whole way there also. So I mean it's a huge benefit. Like I said, yeah, that's
Yeah. So we at the Finnish Football Show, we're big fans of the UEFA Nations League. We kind of feel that these competitive games of opposition of a similar or on a par with Finland is with the added incentive of the game promotion and the jeopardy of relegation. We feel that those games in the Nations League really benefited the Huuhkajat, and you guys seem to really develop as a team during the League C campaign in 2018. Like, how did you personally and the squad feel about the Nations League and the format of that competition with the relegation and promotion, etc.?
Yeah, when it started, nobody really knew what was happening. Actually, I'm not even sure if I knew how the whole thing works, but it was so complicated. But of course now it's easier to know. But I mean, yeah, after we played the first game, I think it was against who we played against, Hungary or something maybe. The first game, and we beat them. I can't remember if it's Hungary. The first Nations League game we beat them, and then it's kind of started from there. The whole journey until this day. So it's been really like good for us to actually have this Nations League, because there we actually knew that we can actually achieve something. We beat a lot of teams. We won the group. We went to the next how do you call it, the next
League,
section? Yeah, something. And yeah, then also the Euro qualification, and then we just continue from there, and we just kept going, and then it kind of. But I think it benefited for us for sure. It started from there, and then we just kept going. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's hope it
really was
keeps going as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was like riding a crest of a wave, as you said. Like playing those Nations League games and beating teams and getting that winning feeling, that winning mentality. You guys really carried it through. And so if we just talk about yourself again, in 2019, Hannu Tuominen described you as Runomaen Messi, and was urging Rive to give you more playing time for the Huuhkajat. As we said, that good Nations League form carried on into the UEFA Euro 2020 qualifying campaign. And as every Finland fan knows, it culminated in the 3-0 win over Liechtenstein in Helsinki. I believe in that game you came on as a sub for Tim Sparv around the 70-minute mark with the score at 2-0. A few minutes later, you were directly involved in the build-up that led to our third goal, sending us all crazy, sending us to our first major tournament ever. So how was it to be involved in that historic game, and what can you tell us of your memories of that night, if you do indeed remember anything? I think there was some pretty big party afterwards.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy, like crazy. When I came in, I don't really remember that much from the game. I remember I had one shot that I thought was in, or it was going in, but somebody blocked it. That's the only thing I remember from the game. And of course, after the final whistle, when everybody was just yeah, unbelievable. I almost started crying at that moment, and I just saw people were like all over the pitch, and everybody was all over there. So it's like it's hard to describe those, like when things are so like. Yeah, of course it was already like when I came in, it was already 2-0. The game was basically set. The only thing I was thinking, like, I want to score. Like that was the only thing I wanted to score. Take my jersey out, just run and shout all the way to the stadium, and that was the only thing I was thinking. But yeah, it's those things are something you never forget those things. So it's so nice to be part of this journey and part of this group. It's been great. It's been so great. I will never forget that.
It's once in 100 years. That's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. But I think let's hope this will help us in the future also. Maybe we can now be the guys who show the way for the next generations and to do the same things. Then it will be easier.
That's it. You're the ones who opened the door. I mean, we spoke to everyone about that night, and everyone we spoke to about that night, and we just one thing I need to tell you, we spoke to Lukas Radetsky about this, but there was you mentioned all the people running on the pitch, so I've got to repeat it. But there's a really great photo of Juha Pirinen with his hands up like this, trying to stop waves of supporters coming into the field. It's so yeah, we haven't managed to get Juha onto the show yet, but the first question when he comes on is like, Juha, what did you think that everyone was just going to turn around and go back to the seats? But yeah,
there's also a great photo
of the other
Tim. There's also a great photo of Tim Sparv trying to take his leg back from Keke, who just wouldn't let go of him as well on the pitch.
Yeah. Sorry, guilty. I can't help that. You know, captain's got to go on the shoulders. That's the way it is on a game like that. But yeah. So the other big question, Joni, for you, just following up from that is how you started the next game away at Greece, and how was it to play like a full 90 minutes with a stinking crapula?
It felt bad. It felt bad, man. Seriously, it felt really bad. It was like we had a huge party, of course. Like nobody was thinking about that game, but we all knew we have to go there. We all knew we have to play it. But I was actually a little bit surprised. Like I also took a few beers, and I felt it in the game. But I was able to play longer than I thought. Like I think I played like 70, 80 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 45 minutes and I'm done. Like, but yeah,
So you done pretty well there.
Yeah, I think I did pretty well, especially with that with the little hangover. But of course, yeah, there was a couple of days in between. So yeah.
So we all know that Euro 2020, we had to wait a long time. This coronavirus came along and we had to wait another year. But eventually, Euro 2020 did kick off. And we lined up against a decent Denmark team in our opening game. Of course, that game is going to be forever remembered for what happened to Christian Eriksen just before half time there. And as Finland fans, there was almost a sense of guilt for us at celebrating our first goal and our first win in a major tournament. But for you guys out on the pitch and on the bench, it must have been a completely crazy experience. I mean, somehow you guys managed to compose yourself after that lengthy pause, and the news came through that Christian was stable in hospital and the game resumed. But like, what can you try and put into words what was going through your mind? I mean, our first ever game, our first ever win, that shocking scene of Christian, like, how did you feel, mate?
Yeah, it's like those kind of things. They are you don't really expect something like that to happen. So it's kind of it puts you into kind of a shock. We didn't really, nobody really knew what was happening until we saw that they were trying to how do you call it, to
resuscitate.
Yeah. So that moment we realized that it's bad. It's bad. And then we stayed. I think we stayed around 1 hour in the dressing room. I didn't hear anyone say one word. Everybody was just quiet. thinking on their own minds. Everybody was trying to go through that thing on their minds. So yeah, I mean, the only thing I was thinking that it was like that hopefully he's okay. I hope he will survive. That was the only thing I was thinking. But of course, you always start to think about those things that if it can happen to Christian, then it can happen to even for me. Like you always start to go in those kind of negative thoughts in that moment. But yeah, after we heard that he's feeling better in the hospital, then we decided that yeah, we will give the choice to the Danish team. They can choose if they want to play, we can play. If they don't want to play, we will respect that. We will finish the game, and we basically just told them that we stand by you, and we will do like you guys want. So, but it was really hard in a way that it was hard to be happy after the game, even we won. So, but yeah, of course, it's good that he's feeling better. I heard he's feeling okay at the moment, so that's the most important thing.
Players weren't given much of a choice, were they? You know, you said that it was once the Danish players said they were okay to play, but it wasn't much choice that any of you were given.
Yeah, not really. No, I don't. We actually heard it right after. I think the next day, we heard that UEFA gave I think 2 or 3 different options. What would it be? So yeah, to us it was okay to do any of those, but I can't really imagine what the Danish guys felt. I'm pretty sure that they weren't that happy about the situation. But I don't know if the UEFA told them the options, but we never actually heard even those options during the game. We just told them that we're gonna do the same thing like you guys. And then after the next day, we just heard that there was other. I think it was to play the next day or at 12 o'clock or something, and yeah, something like this.
And there must be quite a few sort of close connections. Obviously, you played in Denmark, but among many of the players in both teams, there must be sort of career connections going back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably there is, and it makes it hard. It makes it hard also in that way that there's always someone who knows someone. There's always someone who's played against or played with. There's in a way football is small world if you look at that way. So we are all in the same line in a way, and yeah, it's not an easy thing to go through in your head, but it's just something that we had to do, and yeah.
Yeah, and did it with a dignity, I guess. I feel anyway that kind of did the whole country proud. So well done to you and all the guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think as a nation we did we handle it pretty well. All the fans, all the spectators, everybody who was in the stadium, everybody, respect for them.
Were you able to celebrate the win at all? Did it feel? I mean, obviously it's unprecedented, the first major tournament, but did you feel like you were able to enjoy the moment of winning that game for the first time?
I felt like I could. I was happy, but in the other hand, it felt like the whole situation was in your mind. Anyways, so it was like a little bit. There was kind of 2 moods which were going like back and forth all the time. You felt like you were happy. You felt like you wanted to celebrate, but then the other hand, you felt like this bullshit thing. What happened? It's still up there. So yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Joni. You pretty much summed up how everyone was feeling there. And I think you're absolutely spot on when you said that the Finland team was absolutely correct, just to say to the Danish team, you know, whichever you decide, we'll go with that. So I think that's the best we can do. But ultimately, the record books will show that Finland won the game, and Lukas Radetsky saved the penalty. So we got our 3 points on the board, and you guys came down to the Finland fans. Our very own Mark Hayton was there in Copenhagen in the stadium watching the game, and yeah, you guys made your way down to the fans. And even though the celebrations may have been a little bit more low key than they normally are, you guys were able to show your appreciation to all the hundreds of thousands of Finns who have made it there to Copenhagen. So just quickly, can you touch on your own relationship with the Finland fans and how you feel about the Finland fans?
It's great. I mean, they've been since I joined national team a long time ago. I felt like they've always been there. No matter if we have played well, bad, doesn't matter what is the result. They've always been there. So I have nothing but the respect to everyone who is supporting us, who is there in the stadium, and I think they're doing special things, and it gives us also so much energy in the pitch. So I mean, without them, it doesn't feel right. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, there's I'm sure they'll all appreciate you saying that. Our next game was the one that most of the Finland fans and also many of the pundits had been pointing to as the fixture where we were most likely to pick up points. We lined up against Russia, and we thought that the combination of our marauding wing backs and Jole Pojanpalo had worked its magic again when the Danger had the ball in the net after only 4 minutes. But yeah, the goal was cruelly disallowed for a marginal offside. As the game went on, Rive turned to you again just after the hour mark, and we watched as you tried to influence the game, but you became more frustrated as the Russian players went down, clutching various parts of their bodies under every little challenge. I mean, the overriding emotion for us as fans after the game was, I think, one of frustration. Was that also how you guys felt as players after the Russia game?
Yes. Yeah, we felt the same. We knew that was the game that by winning that game we would go through. So yeah, we were really frustrated, especially the way it came with that offside. I don't even know what was it. His nose or something was offside, which is pretty crazy.
It was the quiff of his hair.
Yeah, something like that. So it's especially the way the whole game went. It's really frustrating, because especially when you know that it was so close to actually that we went through. So yeah, it is what it is. This is football, and you can't change it anymore. That it is what it is.
How do you feel about your own? I mean, like, so yeah, before I ask it, I should say, I mean, yeah, I was there at the Denmark game, and then you obviously watched the others, and I thought every time that you came on, you seemed to have a really positive influence on the both on the team and on us, particularly our attack and play in the final third. You have a really good presence, and you must be a nightmare for opposition defenders to get up against. How did you feel about your own performance, your own contribution in any of the games?
Yeah, I'm happy I got some minutes, and the only thing I was trying is, of course, I try to bring some energy. I try to bring some power. Those things, what I'm good at. So I mean, yeah, of course, I think I can be happy that I think I gave also some positive things on the pitch, but also it's always feels a little bit kind of that you feel like after the game, especially, you feel like, okay, it went okay, but there was maybe this situation you could do different. That maybe this situation you always start to think about those things. And yeah, especially the Russia game, I feel like maybe 5-10 minutes more, maybe there could have been a better chance to maybe equalize the game. Yeah, but I'm a little bit frustrated that I felt like we should have get the equalizer in the end. But yeah, I'm still happy that I got some minutes. I try to give my best, and yeah.
Our final group game saw us come up against the #1 FIFA ranked team in the world, and many people's favourites for the Euro 2020 title, Belgium. We had a pretty decent historical record against the Red Devils, but we knew that we would need something extra special to beat them on this occasion. Rive's plans seemed to work perfectly, and as we approached half-time at 0-0, the hopes were high that we could get the point that would maybe guarantee progress to the next phase. Luque was again in fabulous form, saving absolutely everything that was managed to penetrate the defence, and even the defence was looking solid. On 66 minutes, we got our own slice of VAR luck as Lukaku was judged to be offside after scoring, and then you yourself entered the fray on the 70-minute mark, and only a few minutes later, Luque succumbed to some freak own goal that really broke all of our hearts. I mean, as a professional, how do you deal with a slice of bad luck like that? Was there still a belief that you guys could go on and score and draw the game?
Yeah, there was still belief. There was still belief. It wasn't about that. I mean, it's hard in these kind of games when you play against like you said, the #1 ranked team in the Europe. So it's hard. It's hard when you take pressure the whole game. You keep fighting, you keep running, you keep giving your everything, and then they score a goal like this, and yeah, it eats you a little bit inside. But I mean, at least from my side, I can tell you that I still believed in it. I try to push guys. I try to shout at them. I try to like pull them up again, and yeah, then it was pretty much over after the second goal, which came a little bit later. So
yeah. It was not to be, as Romelu Lukaku did get his goal in the end, as you said there, as he eventually managed to spin the impressive Daniel O'Shaughnessy and fire the ball into the net for 2-0. Even after that game, Joni, there was a glimmer of hope that the 3 points would be enough to secure a place in the next phase, but the results in the other games didn't go our way, and we were eliminated from third place in our group. What was the wait like as you guys were waiting on the other games to find out if those 3 points would be enough? And did you guys as a squad watch the Scotland and Croatia game and all the other games there just to see how those results would go?
Yeah, we watched all the games together in the hotel, and yeah, it was a little bit weird because we played all our games already, and then we still have like 2-3 days where we need to just wait and do nothing and look if we can still go through. It was a little bit weird, like in a way that, and of course when we when the games actually, I think there was, I don't know how many games there was supposed to go right, but there was at least 1 or 2 games went in our favor in the first place, and then yeah. Then I think in the last game it went wrong in the wrong way. So it was a little bit kind of, you were kind of thinking that, okay, it looks like that we are going home, but it can be that we stay here. So it was like kind of, everybody was kind of thinking that, okay, yeah, like, are we going to like, yeah, we still train normally, we still do all the normal things and everything, but it was a little bit weird because you didn't know anything what was happening. So it's, yeah, but it is what it is. I think the only thing was that all the or the problem was that the Russia game, because I think that was the game we were supposed to handle. So, but yeah.
I think though, looking back over the performances and the whole journey right the way through from the qualifying campaign to the impressive display against Belgium, the world's #1 team, I think the overriding emotion for the majority of fans is one of pride. I mean, we're so proud of what you guys achieved by getting to that championship and the way that you conducted yourself, obviously in the midst of the Denmark game and the way that you pulled together as a squad and gave your 110% in every game. So we're really, really proud of you guys. I mean, is that the feeling from within the Huuhkajat group and for yourself personally? Are you said there that you're proud of what you achieved, like but is there some small part that says there's something else that you guys could have done?
Of course, there's always something you could have done differently, or it's always a even if, but yeah, like I said before, and yeah, I'm so proud of the guys. I'm so proud of the whole nation, how we handled the Euros. I mean, the journey what we had together as a team and with the fans, with all the supporters, it's been great. It's been so great, and I mean, everybody after we came home here after the Euros, and I just saw that we have this WhatsApp group where we're texting. It was like everybody was just feeling so well. Everybody was like thanking and saying how amazing it has been and how great it is to be a part of this team. And yeah, that moment I realized that it's like it's always been we're always been kind of like a big family, but in that moment I realized that it's real. It's something real. It's inside.
That's it, man. I mean, exactly what you said there. People have said it many, many times, but the togetherness of you guys and that feeling that you have of growing and moving forward together as a squad is like, it's so unbelievable and actually obvious to see from the outside. I mean, that's so great. I mean, that's credit to all of you guys and to Rive as well and the coaching staff. I mean, that feeling of togetherness is something that you can't buy. It's really great. I mean, whatever happens next in the future and for Finnish football, you guys will always have the memory to cherish that you played in Finland's first ever major tournament for the men's A national team. And I know that you guys have inspired so many young Finns to go out and play football and to reach for their dreams, and because they know now that those dreams are achievable. So I think all the football fans in Finland and the country as a whole has a big eternal kiitos to say to you guys for that. But yes, thanks for that, Joni. It was a pleasure watching you guys in the Euros, and we just can't wait for the next games to come round now and see this journey continue. So yeah, we look forward to that. But just finally getting back to your own personal situation, you just announced a week or so ago that you've signed for ATK Mohun Bagan in Calcutta in India. You're not the first Finn to grace the Indian Super League, and indeed Huuhkajat legend Jussi Jääskeläinen had a season at ATK in their former guise as the club. But can you just tell us quickly how the move to India came about, and what are you looking forward to most about your new adventure in India?
Yeah, it's been there for a while now. They already actually they were interested on me for a while now. They try to buy me already from the iceberg. They try to offer me already there. I wasn't really interested at that moment, but yeah, it basically comes into this like I told you before that my biggest dream was to play in England, and that was actually my plan until Brexit came. So basically, when that came, it kind of I knew that it's basically impossible for me to make the transfer to England. So at that moment I started thinking a little bit that what could be my next move, what could be the kind of next interesting thing, because now I've been in a Europe for a while, and basically there was the options were kind of same places I've already been in Germany, Denmark, and so on. So I felt like I wanted to take a new adventure, new experience. So I'm really excited to go there. I can't wait to go there. I've always been since I was a young kid. I've always been kind of a guy who I like to go on a different cultures, different adventures, different all these different languages, all these kind of things. So it's I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it.
It's not a bad place to get acclimatized for Qatar.
Yeah, good point. How long does the season run over there it's the Indian Super League, isn't it?
Yeah. It goes on from like through the winter. I think over the winter. So March, I think. March, April. I think it's over the finish. So it's like I think it's around 5 months or something. It depends, because we're playing this AFC Cup or something. So it depends how far we go up there. So yeah.
Sure. I mean, that first point, Joni, that you said about Brexit, that's like a dagger to the heart. It would have been so nice to see you here in England, but some crazy politicians seem to have messed that option up. But I can't quite get over that. But I mean, we obviously wish you the best of luck in India, and we'll be keeping an eye on your progress there. But we just wanted to ask, with the Indian Super League being off of the radar for most people in Europe, I think the burning question that most of Finland fans have is the consideration you may have given to your international career before signing there with ATK Mohun. Did you have any conversation with Markku Kanerva as one of his most trusted players? Did you seek any reassurances about your future chances with Finland after moving to India?
I was talking with Rive. Before it, or actually, before it. So basically it was just I just told him that I made this decision, and a little bit explained him what is my idea of it, and why I'm going there, all these kind of things. And I told him that I'm always there. If you still need me, I'm still there. I'm still ready to come to the national team if he needs me. But of course I know the risks. I know the risks what they are. I told him the same, that there's no regrets, nothing like that. I'm gonna be there if you need me, but not that's how it is. And I mean, it's of course the contract is it's if you look at it as a bigger how do you say, bigger collective, it's like there's a lot of things which were positive things. So it helps me also, because my girlfriend is living here in Finland. It also gives us a better chance to actually see each other more, even though I'm flying further, because the season is a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna be home a little bit more than I'm used to.
Sure.
Well,
and she can escape from the Finnish winter as well and come over there, hopefully, and get a bit of warmth to the bones. Yeah, that would be nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it doesn't look like a bad place to go, Joni. I mean, you said yourself that you're interested in other cultures, and you're certainly going to experience that in India. It's such a colourful, wonderful place to see and taste and smell lots of different things. So the four of us, and I'm sure every single Finland fan who's listening and watching this will join us in wishing you the best of luck out there. And we'll of course be keeping an eye on the Indian Super League now, and can't wait to see how you do. But Joni, yeah, so, listen, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for being so honest with your answers to our questions, and your memories from Euro 2020 and before. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you, Joni. And I think the only thing that's left to say again is kiitos for everything you've done so far. And we certainly hope that we'll see you in this shirt again. What's the story behind 19, by the way? Is that like your favorite number or something, or did they just give you that one?
They just gave me that one. My favorite number is 7, so that was already taken. So
who's got that?
I think it used to be. I think Eremenko had it. Roman had it before,
Yeah.
And then and then
Is
it
it
was
Robert now.
It's
Taylor. I
Yeah.
think it's Taylor now. Yeah, I think Lodge. I think Lodge had it also at some point, but it's been changing a little bit. So, but
There you
yeah,
go.
Number 19
Cool,
is
but
the one to have.
yeah, that's fine.
And it looks
That's
good,
fine.
right? It's not,
Yeah, it's look.
Even
pretty
on
cool.
you, Keke.
But listen, even on me, Noni. So, guys, is anything else from any of you guys?
No, just thanks from me. Thanks, Joni. I think you're one of those players that's always given like 110, 120%. You can always see it every time you're on the pitch, and that's all we need, man. Thanks.
Thanks,
you.
thanks, Joni.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We kind of nicknamed you the Beast on this show because we just love that aggression, you know, like not aggression as in going around kicking everyone, but just, you know, I'm here, I'm not taking any ish. This is how we do it. So we can't wait to see some more of that. So kiitos, Joni.
Kiitos. Thank you.